Maiyegun today, and Maiyegun is live. So thank you if you have done all of that. So, Melody, Ada Zion, you have always been very punctual, early as well. Thank you. And every one of you just tuning in as well. Remember, just share the broadcast. Then we'll start. So this morning, in fact, yesterday, it was, announced that the former governor of Anambra State, Chris Ngige, well, we usually call him on Maiyegun's diary, Politico, Okija, Shatabandu. Now, Chris Ngige was the governor of Anambra State between 2003 to 2005 or so. However, he was appointed as Minister of Labor by Bokwari. So he served as Minister of Labor from 2015 to 2023. And on these guys is being, prosecuted for contract scam. Chris Ngige is accused of awarding contracts worth 2.2 billion naira, mostly to his own kind of like associates. He collected or received kickbacks that the EFCC is currently charging him for. So Chris Ngige appeared before a judge today, and the judge sent him straight to Kuje prison because they couldn't release him or grant his bail, because his bail application and all that is now scheduled for Monday. So what happened? Like, breaking it down, how did it get to that? There are speculations, by the way, of how he's been kind of like not in the same page with Tifnumbu. But I do not really see him as a political threat to Kolu in any guise. However, the crime he committed, right, as they explained that in their charges against him today, I will tell you a few of them, okay? But when it was brought to court today, just for hearing this, before he got sent to Kuje prison. So earlier, Chris Ngige. Let's start with that.
Good morning.
We need to sign again. Yeah. Okay. They didn't allow us to serve it yesterday.
Now let's take a look at the charges against him. So according to the EFCC charges against Ngige, so he's accused of awarding 7 contracts worth over 366 million naira for consultancy, training, and supply by the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, right, through them. So to a company called Sezimo Nigeria Limited, belonging to his own associates. Because like Wike said, if I don't give the land to my friends, do you want me to give it to my enemies? So, furthermore, he is also accused of awarding another 8 contracts worth over 383 million naira to another company belonging to Mr. Charles. His other associate is Ezebinwa Charles. So say Mr. Charles got another contract, which is that 583 million. So they accused him again, right, of awarding another 8 contracts worth over 362 million naira to another company called Jeff and Chris X-Rays Limited, belonging to one Mr. Nwosu Wike. So he is also accused to have allegedly awarded contracts under controversial circumstances, include Old English Consolidated Limited and Shell Atlantic Intercontinental Services Limited, belonging to one Uzoma Egbonwa, to the sum of 668 million naira. Now, as a minister, I don't think awarding contracts is real problems here, right? It is the kickback. So here, so they said it's violated section 19 of their corrupt practices and, ICPC law or something of 2000. Therefore, they accused him of collecting a kickback. Do you get me now? A kickback from one, the contract of that NSITF that they, gave the consultancy job to, what do you call his name? Mr. Charles, that one up there, right? So they said behind the scene, from that contract, the sum of 38 million naira, 38.6 million naira, right, was collected from Sezimo Nigeria Limited, another 55 million naira from Zetacom Nigeria Limited, and another 26 million naira from Jeff and Chris Limited. EFCC accused him of that. So if you put all of that together, that means he collected, let's see. Meanwhile, he got some of this money donated, like they put the money through his foundation. Okay. His foundation is called Dr. Chris Nwabueze Ngige Campaign Organization. Man, that's a campaign organization. How is that a foundation? Anyway, so EFCC is charging him for collecting through, after giving them those contracts, right? He got a kickback through his foundation. If you put all of that together, 38.6 million, 55 million, that in itself should give us, let's say, 93.6 million, 96.3, then plus another 26 million. So that's 122.6 million naira. So that's how much he got back from that 2.2 billion naira contracts. But some people are not buying it because Nigeria is a place where sometimes, the thieves are expected to thieve anyway. Politicians who are pretty much like thieves anyway. So their followers and their supporters expect it. So sometimes when you say somebody stole 130 million naira, to them, their supporters are like, yeah, it's going to be like an insult. What do you mean? Somebody who was governor, who was minister for 8 years, you are saying that he only collected 130 million naira bribe? Can't you see that this is actually politics? Yeah, I hope you have been hearing that already. Anyway, they haven't found Chris Ngige guilty of any of this. That is why it is allegedly. But there is no way you can look at all of these and somehow, you won't want to relate it to politics to some extent, right? Malamu, most of the ministers that worked, most of the people that worked for Bokwari and Bokwari himself, they were complete rogues. I am talking about total pillaging of the country. You feel me? That there is no single person that served with Bokwari, including Bokwari himself, that shouldn't be in jail ordinarily, including this Ngige. Now, the list is very long, but we all know that, like everything else, okay, their fight against corruption is always political, like everything else, including their security, the insecurity in the country. But Nigerians have been so robbed that it is more like, there is a word for it too. It's kind of like odd, okay? When you see thieves, probing thieves, and it's practically not going to end anywhere anyway, okay? So you just take that as an entertainment. Adisirika was the Minister of Aviation under Bokwari. This dude sold a bobo to the whole country. Are you with me? Paid over 400,000 US dollars to a Bahrainian graphic designer to design a logo, called it Nigeria Air, and they sold it to the whole country. Educated people, businessmen, and they held sort of like a public symposium to describe the beauty of bringing back the national carrier for Nigeria, but it was actually a scam. Adisirika ended up, right, squeezing the aviation ministry of Nigeria of over 200 billion naira. You heard me right, too. Over 200 billion naira. He ran the scam so deep enough that they actually took loans to start Nigeria Air. In case if some of you probably didn't know that. Yeah, they took loan. $500 million to set up the Nigerian Air takeoff. That never seen the light of the day. Not a single building, not a website, nothing to indicate that they're actually setting up a national carrier. No, it was all scam. But they sold it anyway. People bought it. APC, Adisirika ended up building himself a palace-like mansion in his own state, where he is aspiring to one day become their governor too. Another person, well, when Tifnubu came in, they said, according to the role Adisirika played in the Bokwari's kitchen cabinet, the Kabah, that time, so he was seen as one of those against the Tifnubu's presidential ambition. So he had to pay. Same as, the former central bank governor, Emefiole. So Adisirika was, invited, possibly not arrested, invited. And then he was arraigned. This was last year. And that was the first and the last time we saw Adisirika in any court. Right? They accused him of mismanaging over 50-something billion naira. He was a minister. Another one who is also a notorious criminal is, the former Minister of Injustice. That's what I love to call him. Malamu, Abubakar Malamu, a Yoruba, the Attorney General of Nigeria, the deceiver, a criminal, a crook. I've told you about him a lot of times, right? However, even though they were all in the same APC, Kolu didn't have to struggle to find debt on them because, Abacha loot that was returned back to Nigeria got relooted again. That nobody can actually say this is what they used over $4 billion of Abacha loot returned in the space of 8 years of Bokwari. Nobody could say what they used the money for. Do you understand? But there were those who made their own cut, a lot of it, a chunk of it. Me, I have said it on this platform, on this program, many times, countless of times. Okay? However, the EFCC has invited him again because he has left the APC to go and join them in the coalition, ADC. He wants to be the governor of Kebbi State in 2027. This is a guy that was just a roadside charge and bail lawyer as at 2014. But yeah, as one of the brightest from northern part of Nigeria, loyal to Boko Haram from their CPC old days. You know, CPC is the same as Boko Haram, yeah? No, you don't? I'm not going to be explaining further, but just so you know, anyway. So yeah, those guys are the fanatics, the parts, all right? So in the name of Allah, in the name of religion and the rest of that, okay, they managed to join the team Boko Haram. But he was a thief, a conk thief. That ordinarily, if Sharia be says Sharia, they really kind of like deal with criminals. Most of the political leaders from northern part of Nigeria would have become amputees by now. They would have amputated their two hands. And they said, you know, if you thief in Sharia, they amputate your hand from here. If you steal again, they amputate the second one. When you now turn to, what do you call it? Mekuturu. That Mekuturu, if you are accused of stealing again, they will cut it here. So from wrist to short sleeve, they will cut you again. That's what Sharia said. If they accuse you of stealing again, how would you steal again? Where is the hand? They will cut you from here again. If anybody accuses you of stealing again, at that point, they would have to cut your two legs. I think that's what Sharia said. It didn't say they should kill you. But guess what? The career criminals, political criminals who are also going to Mecca. Every year, these guys will go to Mecca twice, but they were robbing Nigeria blind. If they feel me, if they begin to put together the atrocities of Malamu, it should be charged for treason. The same guy that gave the fraudulent intel, fake intel to Kenya in order to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, right? He is actually a crook. Presently, he has been linked to Boko Haram sponsors as well. Over 47 bank accounts were traced back to him in the case of trying to probe how the money they looted Abacha, returned Abacha loot. How did they loot that money again, right? So right now he's standing, he's kind of under investigation. They've pulled him up twice. EFCC called him, DSS called him. All of this to show, their investigation pointing him to, one or two things that have actually armed Nigeria, like seriously armed Nigeria. Now, politically, they are going to tell you that Tinubu is hunting them. On this particular one, no, even though I believe that when thieves goes after thieves, it is just to our own entertainment, just for our entertainment. There won't be any real justice. You should know that. You should know better. And if you don't, I possibly can't help you. Okay? But for the period, for the educational purposes, right? You get to know these criminals, what they did, and how what they did actually affected Nigeria. Yeah, and what affects Nigeria affects millions of those who are identified as Nigerians, right? So yeah, they were pulled up, but it's yet to be charged. Okay, and the list goes on. The current Minister of Aviation, that is Frostos Keyamo. Frostos Keyamo was at a point junior minister to Chris Ngige. Yeah, in the Ministry of Labor. Keyamo was a junior minister to the Labor Minister. They used that word junior. Like you say, Minister of Labor, Minister of State Labor. You get that now? So they kind of categorize that as junior, senior. Under this one is actually a very huge scam. More than 2.2 billion naira, by the way. I'm not excusing the criminality of this guy. By the way, Frostos Otobokeyamo pulled a last-minute stunt, in case if you're forgotten. By now, you should have been seeing at least 700. Listen again, 774,000 Nigerians cleaning the streets, clearing the drainages, emptying the trash cans, and ensuring the environment stays so clean. That was Otobokeyamo's project. You remember now? Of course you remember. He did that just between 2021, 2022, and 2023. That he actually cashed out more than 40 billion naira. And I didn't make that up. So let's break it down. Frostos Otobokeyamo, the stunt he put was that he was going to employ 1,000 youth in every local government And Nigeria have 774 local government areas. Multiply that by 1,000. Don't flex. I mean, don't fret. That is a 774,000 jobs. So, Otobokeyamo then bought some wheelbarrows, some cutlasses, machetes, rakes, and some packers to do roadshow. I put it through their supposed budget, and money was released. So that was why they went on the roadshow, took some pictures, cut some grass here and there. And up to this moment, there is no single person that will say he is working in the Ministry of Labor in Nigeria today when Otobokeyamo employed them. 774,000. Do you know that number is massive, right? 774,000. That is like times 4 of the size of the Nigerian army combined. Times 3. No, sorry, times 2.5. Sorry, times 3. Times 3 of the population of the entire Nigerian police force. That is number of the youth that fraudster Otobokeyamo used in cashing out over 40 billion naira. Ask them today. How many of them are now still working that job and being paid 50,000 naira? That was the promise. Today, fraudster Otobokeyamo is the Minister of Aviation in Nigeria. Like all, we are a poor nation. And the backbone will follow.
We are a poor nation. The backbone will follow. They say firewood not fall. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, try shining, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. Do it.
So again, it is corruption galore. And I can go on and on and on, including that of Fashola, Isaleko, Barack Obama. Bunch of thieves. I can start giving you all these lists one by one, but they're all working free, like, Except if you are not in the good book of the emperor, the new sheriff in town. You know what I mean? It's crazy though. And others who continue to feel like the association between Peter Obi and Ngige triggered this. No. Don't model them. Yeah, like I said, we can't take politics out of it, right? But here is the thing. Like every one of them, like few ones I just listed for you just now, that if Nigeria was a real place, you should be having all the past governors, past ministers, all of them cobbled together, standing trial for corruption. Like it should be a real spectacle. But that won't happen. Simply because the system abhors corruption. The system actually encourages corruption. The thing is, whose side are you? So the last time, in fact, including this video of Ngige and Faleke, when Ngige was Minister of Labor and he was invited by one of Tifnumbu's proteges, right? Faleke from Kogi, who is also representing Ikeja, Federal Constituency in Abuja, by the way.
Like my junior brothers, except Faleke, they say he's up to 60, I don't know. I'm 60 plus. So you are near my age, but I'm at least 7 years older than you, I'm sure. I'm the same age with your mentor in Lagos, Asiwaju. And I was governor with him at the same time. He was a senator, I was a senator. I'm a two-time minister, he isn't a two-time minister.
But he won all his elections very well.
No problem about that. Just like you won your own in Kogi State very well.
Yes.
And you are now the deputy governor and governor of Kogi State.
Mr. Minister, please respond.
I'm responding, my friend. If you have me, I have you 10 times.
I won.
I'm a Lagos boy. I'm a Lagos boy. You are just a small boy in Lagos. Look at this boy. Mushin boy is talking to a VI boy. I live in Victoria Island. Look at Mushi boy from Kogio. You are Oborobo. Just go. I don't get time for you. Kilo share.
Like, now, people always like, bring things up. Like I told you as well, those who are their supporters will give you reasons why this trial is political witch hunting. For me, I love to follow the money. Do you understand? Because you. So is it because of 130 million naira now that Ngige, they will now say he did not collect any money from anybody? Did they see the money in his bank account? They paid the money to his foundation, blah, blah. We can all act probably ignorant if we want to, because that's selective. But the point here is that the system, things like this are to give you an idea into how Nigeria got to where Nigeria is. Somebody who was the accountant general under Bokwari, appointed by Bokwari as accountant general of Nigeria. The guy is from Kano. Do you know what he did? He stole 187 point something billion naira. Accountant general. How did he get the money? How did accountant general? You are just to check account, Abi. Is that not like auditor general? No, auditor general is different. Accountant general. How did he manage to squeeze nearly 190 billion naira from the system? He did successfully. Lifted all the money out of the old system. Now, they took him to court for stealing 180 something billion naira. He is also doing his own, those things like religious. While he was on trial, I don't know if he's still on trial, by the way. Yeah. While he was on trial, Kano Emirates gave him double chieftaincy title. The first one they gave him in Hausa, they called him the accountant general of the Arewas. Something like that. When you say this is number one accountant in the Arewa land, something like that. They gave him a title for that. Then they gave him another title, which is like, kind of like a regional head. When they say somebody is like a regional head or a community head, village head or area head or whatever, yeah? That gives him a bit of a control over a small space, like a village head. He was rewarded. Never spent a night in prison, not till up to this moment. When you check those who are defending him, they are senior advocates of Nigeria, senior lawyers, because they will be paid in billions, so that he could keep the rest of his billions, and they can keep him out of jail. The cycle continues because after a few years, he will resurface again, repackaged. They may tell you that he's now a senator, or he's running to be governor. Just like it's, and you just look back and be like, was this not the same guy that they said stole 190-something billion naira? Naimo, like Malamu. If they dip their hands into Malamu's pockets, they will still manage to squeeze out over 100 billion naira looted by that lunatic. But right now, he's spending some of the money buying people in Kebbi, empowering them with Okada and the rest, so that they could run around and make him their governor, executive governor of Kebbi State. Meanwhile, you can't blame the people per se. If you have a working system, there are those who should never even make it beyond application stage. When you say, I want to join political party, I want to run for councillor, and you pick up an application, say, if you dare it, you're going to go to jail. With all these things that we found on you, the party can't even present you. This is where you have the real people who do the background check on them. If they're actually doing their jobs, they will never make it to the position of using the stolen money, right, to get executive power in order to now consolidate that looting, protect it, and then loot more. That's what Nigerian system is. So when you see people who are collecting 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 naira, those ones who are collecting empowerment from them, running all over the place for them, you don't really blame those ones. Trust me. Don't. If you pay attention to the system that produces all these rogues, if you start with the law that empower political party to choose these criminals, because that's where the power comes from. The political party can choose anybody, the blah. Meanwhile, the same law says all the security check, background checks, and the rest of that should be done by the relevant security agencies and all that, but they won't. Even when they did, there are higher power that will tell them to ignore this, ignore that. That person has been approved by some stakeholders, some interest parties. You get what I mean? Then they push drug dealers, rapists, human traffickers, organ traffickers, treasury looters, armed robbers, kidnappers, all this kind of like terrorists. They will put on agbada, put on suits, dress well. They put them on the posters for the supposedly poor people to go and vote for them. And then they will do everything at the same time to twist and muzzle the system in order to ensure that they emerge. Now, all of that, when you take a look at all of that process, nobody should be too surprised what they have turned the country into today. It is a looting galore. It's more or less like you are a sinner if you fail to loot. Like, you can't tell Nigerians and say, I was governor and I never stole a kobo. No, they won't really believe you. And that is why, if you look at Peter Obi and those who really, really despise, if you ask them to, apart from those who are repeating what they are being told to say, right? When you ask them critically and say, give me a reason why you have so much, you are so triggered talking about this guy, and you are not really pressed talking about the ones who are making decisions and ruining the country right now. You are not so angry like that. But this Peter Obi gets you so worked up. They will say it's because of how people are hyping him. They are calling him a saint. They are Saint Obi. It's like he's a saint. He didn't steal a kobo. He will go everywhere. That used to kind of like, it's crazy, right? It is crazy. When Peter Obi brags about if any kobo is missing in Anambra State, they should, that he stole any kobo in Anambra State, right? That it will stop going everywhere and it will actually stop campaigning to be president. He said, I've got house here and I've got this there. If you find anywhere else, take it. That used to be like a bragging thing. Then from nowhere, they weaponized that against him by saying he's a liar, he's pretending to be poor, he's this and that. So his sin is because he didn't steal any money. And to Nigerians, that's not true. I don't believe him. In fact, I hate him for that. In fact, he's lying. So you get like, how could he be a governor and didn't steal any money? Yeah? He invested Anambra State in his family business. You don't get it. You have governors who have looted 10 billion, 20 billion, 70 billion, 100 billion, 200 billion. Right? So, why do you feel so triggered that somebody says, I didn't steal a kobo? Like, why are you so tense, so worked up that you wanted to make that true? Because it is Nigeria. They hate you for it. How dare you pretend that you are not like others? What makes you think you are different? They don't believe you can be different. If you go to public office, you have to loot. Mind you, like I said, they will tell you that they don't like corruption, they don't like looting. But no, that's not true. Majority of Nigerians expect you to steal. So that they can just say, everybody is a team, all of them are the same, Jare. We just say pray to God, to touch their hearts, to do something for us. They don't believe that it is so wrong, right, to normalize treasury looting the way they have done it in Nigeria. So if you go to public office and you come out and say, I didn't steal any money, they say, I lie, John. Do you believe that? Nobody could be any yeah, I swear to God, they expect you to steal. Do you get me? So, in that breath, right, while they are going after or giving us the spectacles and all of that about their, yeah, that's the guy, Peter Obi himself, because the ADC are talking. They are saying that they are concerned. You know, the momentum around this, their coalition and the rest of that didn't even last more than just about 2 weeks, in my own opinion. And it was simply because, yeah, everybody thought the coalition were coming together. They're going to form a very strong opposition, and they're going to do things so differently that Nigerians were going to start seeing them as alternative to APC, the blah, the blah. But Atiku wants to run again. So how is that going to work out? Obedient in their millions believes that anywhere Obi goes to, because to them, Peter Obi is their own political party. So anywhere Obi goes to, he must be the presidential candidate. Those who are already political, career politicians, they feel offended. They're like, that's the same thing you did in 2023. Yeah, they said that's what they said. The same thing the Obedient did in 2023. That they believed that they could go it alone. You know. Anyway, this tension has been going on for the past few months, but the time is ticking. So now ADC coalition feels like Atiku and the Obi coming together, which is mostly people believed that this coalition thinking was probably like a trap to further curtail Obi himself, and you know, Atiku, to ensure that maybe Atiku is the one that will run against Tinubu again. A lot of permutations and all that. To show you get me down. So right now they believe that it is likely not going to happen. There are those who also believes that it's good. Let him keep them so confused. Like Obi is keeping people confused. The APC confused. Others are like, time is everything. Go. So if you want to be part of this, there will be no honorary ticket for you. But who is that person to say that? We don't know yet. Anyway, here was Obi himself, right? Just a few hours ago.
About what anybody can tell you about politics, to be presidential candidate, I am not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. Anybody can be president. Anybody can be anything. If it's working for everybody. If it's not working for anybody. Anybody who tells you it's going to work for him and is doing this, no. It is not working for any Nigerian today. And anybody who tells you he's happy in Nigeria today, tell him that Mr. Obi said he's not a human being. He's an animal. Because nobody is happy when so many people around you are suffering. Nobody is happy when people are dying around you. Nobody is happy when you wake up and you hear bad news all over. And that is why I said it's an essential problem. And for me, who happen to be in public life, it is more painful. Why is it more painful? We are suffering in midst of plenty. Nigeria, Africa have no reason to be poor. We have no reason to be associated with poverty. God in his evening messages gave us everything. Blessed us. Everything we need to be great. But he gave us people like me who are also incompetent, mean, and have refused to work for the people. All of us, so don't exclude any politician. All of us have turned the whole place into a crime scene. where people are stealing what they don't need. Because if they need it, it's a different thing. But they don't need it. And I'm telling you authoritative because I have served. So nobody will say Peter Obi is saying what he doesn't know. I know it. And it is important that people understand it. Chairman, I know I'm taking your time, but a few more minutes. I know, and I mean it. And that's why I try to educate those of you who are in church. This is not politics. Yesterday, I was in a book launch in Ogoni. Book launch. Some of you will see it in the TV. And I said to them, we are going to apologize to Niger Delta people, whom we have been sharing their money for oil for 20-something, for 50, for 100 years, without anything to show for it. We must go and apologize to them. Because we wasted everybody's time with their resources. If you go where we get oil from, you will cry. Is this where we got the oil? They have nothing apart from their land that is devastated and spoiled and cannot be used for anything. And we are sharing the money. You go anywhere in the north, today is crime everywhere. But what do I see? Poverty everywhere. You cannot create poverty and be secured. You look at it everywhere. God gave us oil. He's not helping us. God gave us land. He's not helping us. Today, we are the capital of poverty in the world. We are just 240 million estimated, but we have more people living in poverty in our country than the two biggest countries of the world in population combined. China at 1.4 billion and India at 1.4 billion combined is 2.8 billion people, but we have more people living in poverty than two of them combined. We are among the hungriest country of the world, to the extent that Ukraine, that is at war, you might not know, gave Nigeria grain to fight poverty, to fight hunger. They are at war. And they gave us grain. They gave Nigeria a gift. I'm telling you, everything I hear is documented so you can verify it. They don't show grain, but they're at war. And we are walking around. When the whole of northern Nigeria is about 750 something square kilometers of land.
He is not desperate to be president. He is desperate to see Nigeria work. And his admirers are beginning to remind him that if you want to see where a lot of dreams exist but never materializes, it is in the graveyard. When you go to burial ground, you will see so many dreams that died and buried in those graves. You can't make anything happen, okay, if you don't become president. Nobody's going to do that for you. You would have to have the fighting spirit that indeed millions of people and their future depends on that, right? So you have to be more kind of like, I said that before, that you have to be more brutish. You have to be more brutal with these guys. But others are like, no, you know, it's not desperate to be president. Let those who are desperate keep fighting to be president. And others are like, why, if Obi is not desperate to be president to save these millions of people he talks about all the time and he worries for all the time, yeah, then there is no point in keep talking to them. Because there are those who believe that he has the chance to become your president, but he just needs to, I don't know. Yeah. Emir of Kano has something to say about that, by the way. The Nigeria you want and not the one they are forcing on you. Because the Nigeria you have right now is the Nigeria of Tifnumbu, and that's what you're going to have for another decade after your 2027, as it is being plotted, right? So let's hear the Emir before we continue with the, what do you call them? The ADC coalition, talking about why Obi is here to join them.
Thank you, Yemi, for the invitation. Yesterday, I and Yemi and Achedo and a few friends were at a dinner. And I said to her, can you guarantee that tomorrow I will not be involved in any controversy? She said she couldn't. And as you can see, the compare has tried to wind me up. I must say quite unsuccessfully, because I came very, very determined not to say anything controversial and to follow the footsteps of my good neighbor, Omobola Johnson, and the bishop. You know, for me, Enough is Enough and other movements are a critical component of civil society. And if you go back to great political scientists and thinkers like Antonio Gramsci, you will know that nations collapse when civil society gets into political society. Political society depends on force and coercion, but it also manufactures consent. It gradually co-opts the media, the judiciary, the police, the organic intellectuals, the religious and traditional institutions into its projects, and soon there is no position taken, there is no ideological alternative to the system that political society seeks to create. So, I do not know if I'm speaking as a traditional ruler. I don't think traditional rulers are supposed to speak radically, so I'm speaking as Muhammad Sanusi, okay? So, it's a combination of all sorts, or you can think of it as SLS, okay? So, that's, but the important thing for me is that as citizens, each and every one of us will remember that the nation belongs to us. It does not belong to the government. It does not belong to politicians. It does not belong to, it belongs to us. We own this country. And wherever we find ourselves, we must remember that we are holding one small part of Nigeria. And we have a duty to do what we must to contribute our own quota to this country. We also, when people say enough is enough, I remember a very common question, when do we know what is enough? And this is something you ask politicians, when is enough enough? When do we come to the realization that perhaps we have done enough damage to this country? We have done enough damage, and maybe we need to stop. And I think this is the point Obama is making about missed opportunities. Not just missed opportunities, I think sometimes deliberately missed opportunities. And the reason we miss these opportunities is because we have people who think public office is about themselves, it's about their families, it's about people close to them, it's not about the country, it's not about the citizens. So Yemi and the entire Enough is Enough team, please be assured that you have people in different strata in society, among traditional institutions, among religious leaders, in the business community, even among the politicians who are fed up with the way things have gone. And what we need to do is try to come together and articulate a clear and achievable ideological position, a vision for what kind of Nigeria we want to have. And just the Nigeria.
Guess what? You heard things like that. You have these symposiums organized where the supposed, experts, opinion molders, and the rest of them to come together and provide solution to what they have identified as main problems of Nigeria's stagnation. Everybody talks about it. Only later you realize that every one of them, every group, every civil society, they appear that they are pretty much like objective and all that. They are all working for the same person, Tinubu. I've seen that happen many times. So you're going to see a lot of events organized by some known organizations, many unknown organizations. You're going to see A-listers who are going to be their guests, speakers and all of that, talking about Nigeria, talking about opportunities, talking about missed opportunities, talking about political corruption, this, and talking about election, how election should be, the blah, the blah. Now later, I'm going to say all of them are all working for the same man. Call you, in case if you have not been paying attention. Just thought I should put that in your head. Yeah, because you're going to find out later, like you did find out when your 2023 was coming, and then afterward, right? And then everybody started kind of like switching and acting like you made them like a Tifnumbu, because you've all been criticizing everybody that supports Tifnumbu. That's why I had to go and support Tifnumbu. Because of you. Meanwhile, they've always been, those ones you see on the radio, on TV, those also appeared like a columnist on newspapers. They are all going to be shaping your mind slowly and slowly, and you are all being led to the same slaughterhouse, And the ADC that feels like it could be an alternative are also in a dilemma. Their main target, Peter Obi, seems like it's not coming. And what does that mean generally? Somebody asked their spokesperson, Bolaji Abdullahi. He was on a news central, and then this conversation happened. Please watch.
But why do you think Mr. Peter Obi is stalling?
I wouldn't know. Maybe you need. That's a question that you need to ask Mr. Peter Obi himself, because while we're trying to build a coalition, the agreement was that everybody was going to join the coalition, and he himself agreed that he was going to be part of the coalition. And some of us were particularly impressed the day he himself and Atiku separately vowed that regardless of what happened, they are part of the coalition. So we're all excited and all that. Then when it came to leaving the legacy parties, His Excellency Peter Obi and Senator Nancy El-Rufai asked for more time for them to conclude the elections in their respective legacy parties. That is the Afghan and SDP respectively. The elections in Kaduna, the by-elections in Kaduna have been concluded, and Nasiru El-Rufai had done what he promised to do, which was to register for ADC. The election in Anambra is done, so we also expect that His Excellency Peter Obi will do what he promised to do. So we are a bit, it's like throwing us a curveball when we are hearing conversations like, oh, the coalition is not stable because we are not addressing the issue of zoning and all that. So we believe that some of these issues maybe there are information that are available to him that's.
Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, can you hear me? We seem to have lost connection with you. You've of course have asked His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi to take a stand, join the party. Is there a time frame for this wait?
No. There is no time frame. But
so you are saying it can continue maybe even into the next election. It can continue to consult.
He has the freedom to decide how he wants to run his politics. For us, we have a party to build. We have a party to run. We'll continue to do what we need to do. We'll be happy for him to make a firm commitment to the coalition. But if he doesn't want to, we can. This democracy. We can't force anybody. People have the right to say, okay, I thought I could be part of this, but I don't want to be part of it anymore for whatever reason. That is fine, but we have to continue to move on. But I'm telling you, as I speak to you this evening, I'm confident that His Excellency Peter Obi is part of the coalition. He's still part of the coalition. He's a gentleman. He has not told us anything different from what he has told us, regardless of what is playing out in the media, because sometimes politicians also say some things to pander to their followership, regardless of what they know to be the truth or what they want to, how they portray themselves behind closed doors. There are a lot of conversations that still happening.
So you think Mr. Peter Obi is stalling? You think Mr. Peter Obi might just be stalling just to pander to his followership, just like you have insinuated?
No, I don't think so. I was just saying that there are different levels of conversations, and some of them, one public conversation is just one level. There are other levels of conversation that are not in the public domain.
Right.
So I'm saying that sometimes people make conversations in public to pander to public opinion or to pander to public desire without necessarily, meaning that they are stalling or going back on what they have promised to do.
So the bottom line is that the only spark missing in their coalition right now is Peter Obi. Yeah, it would have to be. Then there's been questions around the credibility of the people who are forming the coalition and how the same people that Peter Obi called, den of criminals. They would have to mingle with them, but at what cost? Would that just be that they will give him their tickets, or is just have to join them in order to give them credibility to some extent? And I don't know. I'm just saying. All right. So nobody knows what Obi himself is up to, but it is already confirmed, indeed, that Obi will be leaving Labour Party soon, and when he leaves, it is like he's also going to be living with Alex Otti. Yeah, it was with Alex Otti, I think it was yesterday, in what was believed to be a consultation around their move before the end of the year. That hasn't been verified, so don't hold on to it. Just an information that, because they are still under the impression that Tifnumbu is coming after them and is doing so much to lead Nigeria to a one-party state. Okay, that's their impression. And I can't completely fault them, all right? Because the drama between Wike and PDP seems to about to go to the south right now. And with the surprise stunts that Fubara also pulled on Wike, that is also generating its own conversation, by the way. And we're going to touch that this evening. So Bolaji Abdullahi continued and he said, the people who are joining Kolu, the campaign to go and join APC, the governors especially, they lack, they actually lack characters, they lack credibility, they lack blah, okay, in his own words.
Well, thank you very much. And I will start on the note that you ended your comment, which is that 2027 election appear to have been won and lost. And that's exactly the mindset of inevitability that the ruling party would like to create a situation where everyone will think that there's nothing we can do, no matter what we do, they are going to win anyway. That's exactly the kind of mindset they are going to create. But if you are familiar, of course you are, with Nigeria's recent political journey, you recall that as recently as 2007, PDP controlled 31 states out of 36, leaving only maybe 4 states in the north and Lagos State. But you recall that the election of 2027 still had to be heavily rigged. It was one of the most discredited elections in Nigerian history. In 2011, it's the same thing. Despite the overwhelming control that the PDP had across the country, they still had to massively rig those elections by popular reports. So what we are saying is just a case of history repeating itself. We are not surprised. You say we don't have any governors. No, we don't have any governors because these governors that are joining the ruling party are not doing so because they are convinced about anything going on in APC. They are all pandering to one vulnerability or another, or looking for easy way out. It takes conviction, it takes character, it takes courage, it takes belief in the nation itself for you to join the opposition party even while you are a sitting governor. And that's what this individuals lack. And it's easy for them to go and join the ruling. But we are not bothered about that. The ruling party or the president may have succeeded in bringing all the governors to their side and uniting all the governors under their party. But what about the people? Have they been able to unite the people? Let's take North Central, for example, Benue, Plateau, and all that. They are able to get the governors of minus Plateau. Maybe it's still warming up. But what about the people? Will they be able to convince the people that they actually represent the best option for them? That is the task that they will not be able to do, because every Nigerian today understand what is going. You cannot, no amount of whitewashing can remove the reality that Nigerians are confronted with. And that is where ADC's strength comes from. To continue to appeal to the people, to continue to position ourselves as the only alternative to the ruling party and what they have done to Nigerians in the last 3.5 years or so. You said I was in Asaba a couple of days ago. That's a 28 states headquarters that ADC will be unveiling within the 5 months that we are in power. We have come on board as an opposition political party without a single political office holder, propelled only by the enthusiasm of Nigerians who are committed to seeing democracy survive in the country.
If you are an opposition in Nigeria right now, politically, it is not the time to be an opposition in Nigeria. If you understand the political sort of system of Nigeria, it is a place where people do not want to be in the opposition, because the intention of joining politics is to get what you can get for yourself. And then they use the people as a cover. I'm doing it for my people. The same people they have left so impoverished. You want to run for office? You want your election not to be tampered with? Then go and join the ruling party so they can write your name like they will write so many others. Because theirs is about the national spread. And this national spread, the impression they are giving is that who is going to defeat Tifnumbu in 2027? They ask you that question. Because politically, they will say no. But forgetting the fact that the real decider should be the people. And it will surprise you, by the way, that there are many people who actually love APC honestly. All these things that you say about APC, the state of Nigeria that you are seeing and the rest of that, right, under APC, you will think they should be hated more. Like it should be so obvious. Because like they say, it is about their interest. So there is no permanent friend, there is no permanent enemy. It is about permanent interest. And whose interest are we talking about? The interest of the politicians, not the interest of those they are representing. Remember that. So once their own interest is taken care of, I can run for the next time. INEC will not disqualify me, or they won't steal my own election. I will be protected by use, stuff like that, right? Systemic. So that makes it more why the Tifnubu and this gang, right, are feeling like they are unbothered. But you need opposition. You do. Because for your own sake, those of you who believe in that your one Nigeria, you need opposition. And you need to cut the opposition some slack too. Because Tifnubu and this gang they're just so lucky. That's all I can say. Because when you look at those who want to replace him, and you take a look at the roll call, so they just be like, from frying pan to fire, Nigeria cannot get any hope. Seriously. But you need opposition. An opposition that can at least, why do you even need opposition? Does that even make any sense? Because you do have opposition right now in your National Assembly. Yeah, I mean, I have never seen them walked out of their National Assembly in protest against what majority of Nigerians were expecting the National Assembly to act on. But because they are rubber stamp, they just do Tifnubu's bidding, like they did of that of Bokuwari. I have never seen them walked out. Let's say Tifnubu walked in to come and present something that they believed is pure, like, defective, right? And then protest it. Walk out of the chamber. We are not going to sit down here. You're not going to address us. Stuff that makes it more like, engaging and all that. But no, they're out there singing on your mandate. On your mandate, they shall stand. And at the same time, running around to see if they are still going to have their ticket back for 2027. It's never about the country. Never. So opposition, I don't understand. Honestly speaking, I was expecting the Labour Party lawmakers in Abuja to be like these guys in South Africa. Julius Malema. When Julius Malema was the ANC youth leader, ANC was like a PDP in Nigeria. Do you understand? ANC in South Africa is like that of PDP in Nigeria. They had all of the majority in the parliament. They're ruling across the country. Do you understand? Like, it's such a huge influence that for anybody to have risen to the position of the national youth leader of such party, Mandela's party, man, that was kind of like symbolic. It should be an achievement, right? Then they figured out that some of these old party leaders, they are as corrupt as anything, like very corrupt. And the interest of South Africa is not as paramount as he thought. So he protested. And did you know what they told him? They told him to go and start his own political party. And that's exactly what he did. And when he started his own political party like this year, when the election came, they won over 30 parliament seats. And that was when the whole wahala started in South African parliament. That some of you from outside, South Africa right now, you are familiar with Julius Malema. Yeah, he was with the ruling party now. He's basically probably the biggest opposition party to ANC in South Africa by forming his own party. So that's what I expected of the obedient lawmakers in Abuja, to give an impression that this is going to be a different thing. But when you started checking the list of these obedient senators, obedient reps, obedient this and that, back then, those who rode on the that obedience movement, then you realize that majority of them were PDP members, APC members. Those who couldn't secure party tickets in APC and PDP, they ran to Labour Party. They ran the idea of, this is going to be a different thing. We are going to be different people. But the moment they go back to the National Assembly, bang, they jump ship back to the same political party that didn't find them any worthy of their own tickets. So they slapped the obedient on the face. Majority of them are now, they are now APC, precisely. They didn't go to PDP, APC. So right now, the left, the remaining Labour Party supposed members are not really sure what is going to happen next. So some of them are still kind of like clinging around the OB as well. So yeah, Nigeria. Talking about the governors that decamped and decided to go and join Kolu. The latest one is that of Fubara. The latest one is Fubara from River State. We all saw that coming anyway, so it shouldn't be a surprise. But what is surprise is the fact that there are things coming up now, enough that it seemed that there could be a Tifnumbu with a Wike coalition course very soon. Because, even if you probably don't want to like believe everything that you heard out there, right? But this one seems very much like credible. Okay. So Fubara was said, as part of the advice they gave him was that if he wants to be protected from Wike, he would need to go and join APC. Well, that took longer than expected. That it was then said, listen to this. So they said, when Martin Amawule and others, they camped to APC, then denied it, right? It was said that before things got to that stage, when the Fubara still had the upper hands, it was offered to go and join APC. But he didn't take it. Because while he was at it, with the Wike's Martin Amawule and the rest, they decamped to APC. So immediately, Fubara pulled back and instituted a case against them to make them lose their seats. And the court actually granted that they've lost their seats. So that was the first pullback. Then state of emergency happened, right? So it was then planned that maybe after their state of emergency is going to join, then with the weakest men also took like the step before him by decamping before him, right? So finally, he just had to do it. But doing it this time is not like with the Wike is the one leading him there. Like, like as part of arrangement, to say, oh, our arrangement would be that you are going to go to APC. It wasn't that. So with the Wike meeting Tifnumbu, and Tifnumbu handing with the Wike to the APC chairman, including Broadstars Otobo Keyamo. It's like they've breached with the Wike, because with the Wike still claims that he's still in PDP. So therefore, this business is not his business. But is that not like shortchanging him in that sense? But we'll find out, okay? Speculations. Right? So, Fubara is now addressing himself as the numero uno of APC in Rivers State. By design, Wike was his boss, right? Yeah, but he's in PDP, so he is in APC. So therefore, Fubara is now the number one of APC. But what makes it more interesting is that just 24 hours ago, Martin Amawule, the speaker, gave a press conference where he was accusing Fubara of mismanaging over 600 billion naira, right? And that is kind of like part of the ingredient of the trouble still to come, okay? And he said they met with Fubara, but rather than for Fubara to do the needful, he kept trying to buy some of them off, meaning as they are waiting for Wike's directive, right? Fubara is not waiting for Wike's directives. So right now, even the supposed Tony Okocha, who is the factional party chairman, APC chairman, okay, had to be brought to their government house today, plus Prostos Otobo Keyamo, in order to officially give him the membership card of APC. Something they haven't even given to Wike's men. They haven't. So all of these people are already putting them together to say, maybe this is it. Maybe this is that time you've been waiting for, where Wike's supposed grip and control on Rivers State will finally be taken away from him by Tifnumbu, who doesn't want to share his own Jagaban traits with anyone. Man, you are free to speculate like me, like others, because people are speaking from what they have, they have seen happened. But that doesn't mean that you're still probably going to get them predictable enough, right? But you can try, like me. So today, Okocha was there and said this.
You both will come out. And that assignment for me is a holy one for that matter, I can say so. Before I get deep into that, let me take this time out to congratulate you on your decision to join the All Progressives Congress, the
decision to join APC, then the event of giving him their membership card was also captured here. Fubara and Frostos Otobokeyamo.
Excellency, not too much. Very well, national, now plan, now spiritual connection.
Get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. Fraudsters Keyamo said they set the trap to catch a toad, Opolo, and their trap caught an elephant. The elephant is Fubara. Historically, politically, if you are running for president in Nigeria, maybe not like that of Tifnubudu, right? But still, right? If you manage to have states like Lagos, Delta, Rivers, just slightly Akwa Ibom, if you are able to have them or their governors in your party to railroad, or sorry, to bankroll your presidential run, these states, even if you just have maybe Lagos and Rivers, okay, the two states alone can cough out more than 100 billion, in fact, more than 200 to 300 billion naira for your presidential run. It has happened before. You understand? So Lagos bankrolled Tifnubu's presidential run. Don't forget that. But Bokuwari presidential run was partly bankrolled by Rivers State when Amechi was their governor. True story. Because it got to a point whereby they said even Tifnubu didn't allow Bokuwari to use his own Gulfstream aircraft. That private jet of Tifnubu, he has to. So they said during the campaign, at a point, he didn't allow Tifnubu to use them. So Amechi have to bank, it's crazy, right? That Amechi actually spent tens of millions of dollars. And that's why he became a super minister. True story. They've all said it openly, just so you know. All right. So you need them. So what this means for Tifnubu and 2027 is that they are gathering the financial strength, apart from controlling the federal government. So it simply means if you want to run with Tifnubu, you need two things. You need a lot of money, but that money is not to actually compete with him. Then you need the people on your side. A lot of money is to possibly maybe bribe the security agents that are partly compromised. Okay, like not kind of like inclined to join this brigandage on the part of the call. So it's crazy. I don't know how to analyze that for you. But I just mean, maybe I should just say you need one thing. You need the people to actually show that they are done, they are tired. And I'm talking about people, I mean, a lot of them. But weakened people, browbeating to submission of people cannot give you that mileage. But we shall see how that goes. So apart from River State, right, there are others still coming. So Fubara said his own joining APC is, I think he said it's spiritual, is divine, or something that God, you know them now. He's saying that he going to APC, is because God positioned him in order to work for Tifnubu's second term in 2027. And if you understand a few things that seems to have happened in the last 48 hours since Fubara said he's joined APC, and then you look at Wike and his own battle. So it's like Fubara, as we already sort of like predicted, will end up seeking Tifnubu's protection. Therefore, Wike would then be given conditions on how to relate with Fubara. Wike's men, they are still outside the fence right now when it comes to APC, apart from the announcement they made. But within 48 hours, from the other, I believe, maybe from the phone call from Tifnubu himself, what is his name? Otobokeyamo had to fly down to Port Harcourt to give the champions, whatever, to give it a bit of federal government endorsement. If you don't see it that way, it's okay. Some people are saying that this is the time Fubara will be freeing himself from one slave master to the grand slave master, politically, whatever that means, right? But to Fubara, well, him going to APC simply was because of this.
Mr. President, if not for any other thing, as a person, I know the sacrifice he has made to ensure that we still stand as a government. So I took this decision as my own return favor, my own clearing the bush to ensure that his re-election come 2027 would be easy, smooth in this state. Now that we are all in one party, because I believe that we have always supported him, but maybe from different flats. We are now inside one flat. The job is easy. continue what we have promised, Mr. President. Let me thank the National Executive. The state chairman is representing the national chairman. I want to assure you, you can take my message back to him, that we will do everything to keep APC as the main and active progressive party in Rivers State. We are not only going to stop there. It is my responsibility from this minute to ensure that the party is properly taken care of. I will assure you here that every need of the ESCO, every need of the party in the state becomes my responsibility. Mr. Chairman, welcome back to your house. This used to be your house. Now walk, you're entering here now, walk with swag. Because this is your house now. Let me thank every one of you, our leaders, who have always been disturbing me. And finally, when I took the decision, you said, you're standing with me. There is no going back.
Nuisance, Lily.
Mr. Fubara, you know, some would say he knows what he's doing in this situation. He's found himself. He's running for cover to somebody he believes could save him from with a Wike, but under what arrangement, under what a condition. Anyway, Otobokeamo said they had this whole thing planned or plotted. I'm just using his own word, right? He said they set a trap to catch a toad, which means the trap to catch the toad. And this toad possibly is with a Wike. You know? Wike is the toad. But luckily for them, they have caught an elephant. Elephant is a state governor with state executive power. And right now that he's made the right decision, right? They will protect him. Protection. You better come and let us protect you. They use that a lot.
Person of Sir Similari Fubara, welcome to the fold of the progressive, sir. Welcome to the big family. Welcome to the largest party in Africa. I was there this morning when you received your membership card. And as a true son of the South-South, may I say that we want to thank Mr. President. I cannot live here without thanking Mr. President for all he has done for the people of Rivers State, for all he has done for the people of the South-South. It has never been this good for the South-South. From zero, we started from zero in 2015. Now, we are 6/6 in the South-South for the ruling party. And traditionally, Rivers State has never been in opposition.
Anyway, so the shark caught a big elephant, which is Fubara. And he himself told his supporters, like, listen, I got my membership card today, and it's 001. I'm the number one of APC in Rivers State. That's going to be another issue another time anyway. We see that Tony Okocha has been with Wike, playing the role of this, faction of Wike in APC. There's a real APC chairman, no, but that one is not recognized by Chief Numbu's group because they believe that he is loyal to Amechi. So Amechi faction. Now Amechi has left APC. Those ones are now like in the limbo right now, or considered as always probably on their way to ADC. So now the Tony Okocha guy was always around with a Wike, was with all this Amawile guy. I mean, guy is another, right? But right now, they would all have to come under Fubara.
All progressive Congress. I am the number one.
A similar party was also held in Lagos today when Devolumai threw a party in what he called temporary opening of the coastal road in Lagos. Do you all remember when Tinubu was in Lagos to commission the coastal road? When was that again? Please remind me, because the last one I remember was the one they did around March or April. Was it May? Yeah, when Tinubu was in Lagos to commission the coastal road, and we're like, this coastal road of 700 kilometers, you've only done just about 40, 45 kilometers, and you've not even completed that 45. But there are videos of, oh, they have started from Calabar. Oh, they have started from Kiniko axis. They are doing the Kiniko and other. But hey, you've commissioned this one, right? Let the job continue. Like right now, the next commissioning should be when you get to Ondo. You understand, like you've gotten to Ondo, 200 kilometers. No, not 200 kilometers. So maybe 100 kilometers, right? To Ondo. And then you say you are now headed for Edo, Abi, Delta. Sure, you get now that axis. Those are the commissioning they should be doing. But no, they rolled out red carpets. They called all these media. They brought in tents. They invited traditional rulers, politicians, policemen. They brought a lot of people to come and temporarily open a road that, according to Devil Umai, by the way, they said the road is temporarily they want to open. It's going to give you access to Ahmadu Bello. Yeah, Ahmadu Bello. So, 1 second, they said the Ahmadu Bello way to Eleko village junction. That's less than 35 kilometers. Do you understand? And we are talking about a project that has taken more than 3 trillion naira so far. Hang on, 3.6, 1.7. Yeah, they've taken nearly 4 trillion naira so far. And it is a project they said was to be completed in 2028. Was it 2028? Yeah, 2028. 700 kilometers. And they are yet to even do up to 100 kilometers. But yeah, they are celebrating. Let me show you. They have this old branding, the old media, you know. Yeah. Like, Baba, open the road. Just tell everyone that the road will be opened from Monday. You can now use the partly completed coastal road from Monday. Why do you need to bring all of that? Why do you need to, like, that's the second time in this year. But they needed to do that because 2027 is coming. They are going to present the coastal road to you when that 2027. I mean, I actually wish they would have gotten to maybe Delta. Here you get like they have done like maybe 150, 200 kilometers. Here you get not just Lagos. That they haven't even covered the whole Lagos for the past 1.5 years. But they have only done 35 kilometers. 35 kilometers for God's sake. There are state governors who have constructed, they have constructed 100 kilometers of roads scattered everywhere in the last 1 year. But this is a federal government project. Less than 35 kilometers. And they had to call the paparazzi, do all of this, because they need to take pictures and continue to post them and tell you the work is already going. Like, why is this?
Ladies and gentlemen, please please, can you put on the minister's line, please? Thank you.
With the authority of Mr. President, who directly is good, is a problem especially in festive period. I'm related respectfully, grateful God Almighty, who has enabled Mr. President to overcome the challenges of his dream, and he has therefore President will compliance to directive together with our leaders here to hereby to the watch of God Almighty open this first section of Lagos Calabar in Lokosa Highway for the use of all Nigerians. God bless you.
You know why? Well, actually, it got me laughing while I was watching that. Was that I was speaking to somebody very close to me in Nigeria a few days ago. And it was like, Baba, they are trying, if you see the road they are doing in Nigeria now, Baba, they are like putting iron on the road, like concrete road, standard, this and that. I was like, do you know how much they are actually charging per kilometer of those roads? I was like, no, I know, but I mean, the quality, it will last forever and all of that. So that then also reminds me of somebody again who said, Baba, we cannot say it's 35 kilometers now. If we have to, now 2 lanes, 2 sides. If you want to measure it, we have to say like they've done about 70 kilometers. I was like, so is that 70 kilometers out of 700 kilometers? I was like, now it's Atiku. No wonder APC will continue to have supporters like you. Yorubas could be a follow. And follow. you know, eja kolonjebe, there's a fish but like that. Like, you know, so when you try to clean a fish, right? You have to take out all the gut and everything from the fish. Eja follow fish. I don't know the English name, so don't ask me, right? It's kind of like a kebu fish like that, right? You don't get anything for head. I was like, so in your mind there, if you add the 2 lanes they have done, that will automatically make it 70 kilometers. Out of 700, I was like, okay. Now, does that then mean that we have to combine both and say Tinubu is constructing 1,400 kilometers to Calabar and back? I was like, I don't even think like that too. That's true. It's 1,400 both ways. Okay. So in your own summation, out of 1,400 kilometers, they don't do 70. They must have tried though. I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do, Maiyegun. And I'm not going to answer you again. So I didn't calculate it well. It's because you don't get anything for your head. That's why people like you are the reasons why the APC, Ebekebe, and other politicians are bold enough to come to you after duping you, right? Scamming you. They still have the audacity to come to you with peace of mind, like nothing is going to happen to them, because they know that you will never know what they have done and welcome them with laughs, with drums and dancing. No, you won't. So sardines, God bless you, sardine. Just reason you're with us this evening, sir. Anyway, yeah, sardine. But I don't think follow is, yeah, it must be sardine, because they don't get brain, they don't get anything for inside that place where you want clean. Just wash them like that. You don't have to worry about the gut or brain, they don't get. And that's exactly how most of the Ronukus. And it doesn't matter whether they are educated, whether they are living in Nigeria or they are living abroad, it doesn't matter. Once you want to identify any APC, Ebekebe sympathizer, they make you feel like, say, oh, more. If they knock their head, it go echo. You know that's where you die. Go. And you like, go, because Koro follow one bear. But one, yeah, agree. Trust me, one, yeah, agree. And it's pointless at the end of the day to try to want to make them see reasons, because again, right? How does this make any sense? Let's assume that they are opening this completed part for the dirty December. You understand? Dirty December. And dirty December means Lagos is going to choke. Open some parts so that people could be able to get off the mainland, going to the island, the other stuff, Abby. But that doesn't, I don't think that needed any form of paparazzi celebration or announcement like that. No. That they have to pay people to print the pictures of the road. Pictures of the road. Print them on big banners. Then use these banners to cover and block the road so that it will look like you are just opening a new road. That's the 3rd times they are doing it. I just thought I should mention that, So yeah, Dirty December. And for those of you who are going for Dirty December, I think batch 1 don't land. Batch 2 are already seeing the first batch that arrived. They complain of arriving into a dark dark airport. There was no light. Okay, while others who are the second batch from the airport, that's something about Nigeria though. I don't know. The last time I went for my mom's burial. I wasn't really enthusiastic. I wasn't really boisterous and happy to say I want to go to Nigeria. So the next time I'm going to go, maybe there is likelihood of any form of enthusiasm because I want to go and see my family and all that stuff. Sure, you get. There's something that kills that the moment you get to Nigerian airport. Frosto Sotobo Keyamo is planning to spend over 700 billion naira to renovate that airport again. Modernize it, we call it. So, if you are going for 30 December, also learn how to possibly build some madness too, or else. Now from the airport, you go to cry. All this. You have ruined our December. Don't let them ruin it for you, okay? You are not going to mental bit, boy. This one was yesterday, when the conveyor belts won't work, or those who are arranging the bags and the arrival, they don't give a shit, right? And then this happened. Dirty December.
Bro, let's go. Do it. I mean, go home. Do it then. Do it. Do it. When you're waiting for what? Why am I doing your job? Why am I doing your job? We all need to go home. If he wasn't going, I'm gonna go. Bro, let's go.
Bro, did you see how the broken ceilings there? Inside the international airport arrival lounge. Oh, sorry. What do you call that? Again, when you go to collect your baggages and all that, your bags and all that. You see all of that? That's welcome to Nigeria. But they still believe that we are the one, the marketing Nigeria. No, not us. Okay? Then when you now enter town, welcome to Nigeria, then you begin to kind of look like almost a war zone, for God's sake, man. Shake it up, you know. Baggage claim. Thank you very much. They are regular travelers. You know, they know all the terminologies. Bless you. Shall like the broadcast too. Just a reminder, if you haven't really liked it, please do. We are rounding up in the next few minutes, okay? So here is hang on, what's the mixer come around? Omuadio, Abina Omiadio. This one is in Ibadan, where interstate train got tired and had to go belly up.
It's too much now. It's too much now.
You get it, right? It's can I call it a cargo train or a coach that is transporting? I don't know. But it got to Omiadio in Ibadan, and this is between Abeokuta and Ibadan train. I'm not going anywhere anymore, man. Empty me. That was like when you feel like maybe if this was a human being, you get to say and say, okay, I'm not going anywhere again. You need to empty me here. Not going anywhere again. So yeah, mind you, train derailment happens every now and then, and not just in Nigeria. So don't take out too much. But what happens in Nigeria that doesn't just happen anywhere is when you can sense economic saboteurs who always do one thing, right? The arsonist. And most of the time, right, when things like this happens, right, people believe that they are premeditated. Some people did it, okay? At, what's this place called again? Baga, is it called Baga? In Lagos, okay? Olodia Papa, let me check the name. Please pardon me, okay? Yeah, it's called, Baga. At Olodia Papa, I got it right? The car parts market in that axis suddenly just got fire last night, heavy fire. That again, billions of naira worth of goods have been destroyed. And to the survivors, they believe that this is Nigeria that happened to them again. And to those who know the pattern, the Igbos have been targeted again. When is this going to actually happen? You get what I mean? Sorry, when is this going to actually stop? We don't know. This was from Lagos last night and this morning.
For years to years. People sweat. Ndị Igbo na-ana like this, so for years a na-ata afọ range kịta lee.
Hello, má pè padà.
I don't understand anything, guys. See people sweat, guys. See people sweat. Ego ndị Igbo na-enwu n'ọkụ. Ego ndị Igbo tara afọ years range na moto ndị mmadụ, trọk ndị mmadụ. Jesus Christ. Dịka moto na-enwe ọkụ. They set ndị Igbo na Lagos. Nonsense. Ndị na-akọmentị ya ha amahụ. N'enyi ya. Just ekpere n'ụwa ga ka nwa Nigeria daftanara anyị. Ekpere n'ụwa ọnwụnwa obodo a. Ọnwụnwa obodo anyị nọ na adaftanara anyị. Ọ bụ maka ya nụ na-akọ. Nweche kọmentị ị ga-ese ebe inecha anya like this, ineta anya mama dị ihe ga-awa ebe aha nkịtị just na-agafe nata n'Igbo ema mbụle m gosi all these things ihe anyị ndị na-ekwu sometimes na-erizin sometimes ọ ndị nwụrụ ara nne ha bụ ihe ndị na-ekwu ya nọkọta na ọ bụghị na ikpe ọmụma na-efili dị pain ọga about ihe nwe aṅụrị tụrụ na metara ya apel but guy na-ewere ego ndị mmadụ maka ego na-ebi ya mee moto ndị mmadụ bụ otu ego to complete ma ha mee billions of ndị mmadụ bụ ya ihe a niile abụghị ibu ma ọ bụghị sị na omeme apel but guy ama m na omeme apel tiri ọchọ apa anyị prap ihe a na ọ ebido ọsọ ndị n'ịntanet No Nigeria, I know Nigeria. Nigeria. Guy, hey. Man, I won't go over there. Man, I won't go over there. I swear. Man, I won't go over there. Man, I won't go over there. Huh? Like I never had come no year you home. Yeah, I have baby income again about that. Sige.
I don't get it. How can that be normal? You close your shop last night, go back home, only for you to receive a call that you need to come back. Everywhere is burning. And by the time you get there, everything is gone. Everything. The following morning, everybody comes around, look around, feel sorry and all that. But that's some people's lives gone, everything gone. They are now going to be in serious debt. And it keeps happening, like that. Just destroy things. Because nobody is ever arrested. Nobody is ever prosecuted. No one is ever, for any reason, put on trial for any of this fire. No. Just this one has happened now. We just have to wait for the next one. Where is the next one going to be? Is it going to be in Sokoto? Or is it going to be in Aba? Or is it going to be in Kano? Where? In Lagos? You just wait again. Then you begin to take a look at the victims. You start wondering, like, oh God, how is that normal? It shouldn't be normal. I just take everything away from you like that. It's not because you made the wrong business decisions. It's not because you are unable to manage your business. Just a random fire. Boom. Everything gone. Few days after that, demolition will start. Few weeks after that, new developer, the new owner of the area will show up. And then they begin the process again by saying those survivors should come and take another set of shops that we are going to build for this price. Then they will pay again. In 10 years' time, they try. I mean, how is this not a crime? It's an organized crime, Charade. I'll leave it at that because I mean I'm not a crime expert. So, but come on, it's a common sense thing. All this can be random. All this can just be coincidence, like happenstances. Like it happens everywhere. People lose all of their money, lose all their investment. They run into serious debt. Some even die. But nobody is ever prosecuted for any of that, ever. You say, oh, you know that fire that happened in Abuja in 2006, that market, those so and so were those behind it. They've arrested them, they've convicted them for treason, for terrorism. Oh, you remember that Balogun market the other time that so many people lost their money and all, they've arrested those behind it. It was also the work of a saboteur, right? Investigation revealed that 6 people have been convicted for that crime. That's how a normal society works. But we are living in a place where people will openly brag and say, we'll destroy everything. We'll do this. We'll burn your shops. We'll burn your this and that. Go back to your region. And nothing happens to them. Nobody questions them. Nobody really like them. It's crazy, yeah? So we are currently preparing to have a new Awujale of Ijebu land. You know, I'm from Ijebu. And yes, so Awujale is the paramount ruler of the Ijebu kingdom. And we have a lot of Ijebus when it comes to our land, ancestral lands, by the way. So when you know how we, let me even say, you will say the Ijebus have more, like, how many local government areas? I think we do have like about 4 out of the 20. Quite massive, trust me. So the Awujale stool is very much dearing to the heart of an average Ijebu person, especially if you are very much conversant with your history, like me. So few weeks back, if not months, the rumor mill started kind of like flying all over the place that, oh yeah, Kwamwan is going to be the next Awujale of Ijebu land. Some of us felt like, I mean, I don't have a problem with Kwamwan or anybody becoming the paramount ruler of Ijebu, as long as they are from the bloodline and nothing like the political obas that we have been seeing. There will still be political to me. They still have to be political obas anyway. However, not like somebody who is not by any means connected to the royal stool or anything. But yeah, he's got the connections of the politicians. They've done it several places. Yeah, they've imposed some of these kings, especially in Yoruba land. It's crazy, right? But not K1. I said, no, he's from Fesogboye house, Fesogboye ruling house. Oh, he's from Ayongunref. Shut up, man. He's not. Then they finally came back with one. They said, oh, yeah, Kwamwan's great. You have to say that for like about 10 minutes, by the way. Like great grandfather. Sometimes in 1582. You even believe that? 1582, they said somebody from Kwamwan's lineage was close to becoming Awujale. It's like a prince. 1582, share Yawiri. Like, how? Asao. Anyway, those who are trying to make out the history out, right? They provoked the supposed 2 ruling houses that Kwamwan claimed to have come from. So we'd have had Oba Kwamwan, Oba Wasiu Ayinde Masha, Awujale of what do you call it? Ayinde's kingdom, not Ijebu. So the Fesebuwa's house had to write, the Jadiara royal house had to write to deny that they had nothing. They don't know him. He's got no connection to them. Like, money can't buy it like that. Okay. So right now, the Ijebus we already have Omoyes. Omoyes are the princes, right? The ones that they will select, finally pick one of them. So currently they have like about 6 of them. But they said about 4 or 3 of them are the real contenders. Among the contenders are 2 House of Representative members, former and I think the current or so, who wants to be Awujale. So interesting. I don't know, I just thought I should add that to it. So that I can come back one day and tell you the story of the person they finally pick as Awujale of Ijebu land and who picked him and why. But it's not going to be K1. Now you can have a peace of mind with that. It won't be. Okay. Thank you very much for your time once again tonight. Please, if you haven't really liked the broadcast, please do like it, share it, subscribe to my channel as well. If you enjoy this kind of chat, it can be very busy. Oh dear, it can be very busy. For now that you are here, make it count. Okay, please like the broadcast and share it too. I'm going to see you another time. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your evening or enjoy the rest of the day. Good night to those of us who are close to real night. I'll see you again.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Maiyegun dayari Politico. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number 1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
ha kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o gbogbo ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.